Hello, everybody. Today we watched the franchise. I don't think anyone really requested return, but it did return. We watched Scary Movie, which is actually the fifth Scary Movie, but they just called it Scary Movie. I'm pretty sure it's the fifth. I thought they did four.
No, they did five. They did one with Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan. It's not good.
I thought that was number 4.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure that, well, who fucking cares?
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever fucking number Scary Movie it is. They made a new one. And we watched it. I don't know why. I don't know really why. I like Scary Movie 2 well enough, but it's not really my thing. But we watched this one.
The Wayans were back.
Yeah, I guess it is one of those things where it's like, oh, I guess
it was like, you know,
that exists again.
The Wayans came back.
I love bitching about
the Wayans made number 2. They came back for 5, so you're like, maybe it's good. Like 2 and 3 and 4 were flukes because the Wayans weren't.
I like how I'm always like, God, I hate that franchise. It's not my thing at all. I've never liked one of the movies. I'm like, well, they're making a new Scary Movie. I guess I'm seeing it.
Hey, 2 is good.
I guess it's coming. 2 has like 3 good jokes. It's like the best. It's the peak. It's the peak of the fucking peak of the genre for having 3 good jokes. Okay, and what's the quote unquote plot of this one?
Scary Movie is a parody of the recent Scream reboots, but it's a parody in the sense that it like condenses the plot of the 3 Scream reboot movies into one movie, which is honestly an improvement on that front. And then it puts like random Family Guy cutaway jokes and dick jokes, and they try some other famous horror movies from this time period ish.
They make parodies. Fun of a lot of movies from 2025, early 2025. Yeah,
there's a Long Legs parody featuring the Small Hand guy. There's a Nosferatu parody for some reason.
Series of Final Destination Bloodlines parodies.
Yeah, like several. For some reason, there's a cutaway gag where they just do a parody of Michael that I assume the Wayans just thought of offhand while they were going through the editing and shot in like a day with the guy from SNL. They got Kenan Thompson to shoot the Michael Jackson parody like one day before they edited the final cut and just stuck it in the movie somewhere. It just cuts to it. They ADR'd in a 6.7, the first cinematic 6.7.
Just drinking my water.
And other than that, most of the movie is just like it's like the Scream movies, but the Wayans brothers are really happy that they're back. Connor, what'd you think of Scary Movie?
The Scary Movie was a disjointed series of jokes based on early 2025 movies. You got significant sinners gags,
lots of sinners.
But then you can feel the stuff that was cut in more recently, like towards the end of the editing process, or like even just kind of like. I theorize culture moves so fast these days. I theorized like a month ago. They're like, all right, a month, but we're gonna leave gaps here, and like we're gonna throw in like 5 or 6 like relevant to like right the fuck now gags.
Yeah, nobody remembers fucking Long Legs.
Disjointed. Well, they're making the Long Legs too, but everything else is like Megan. You got a lot of stuff that's like,
yeah,
a couple years ago, or
not even Megan 2, recent. Straight Megan 1 parody.
Straight Megan 1 dancing Megan parody. That kind of stuff. Final Destination Bloodlines, which I would say left 0 cultural impact. I liked that movie, but
Scream 5
if I'm being
6,
honest,
but not really.
They
7.
mentioned the I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot. It's a whole lot of.
They have their own parody Black Jerry Seinfeld from the Scream reboots.
Which was kind of funny. But I feel like part of the problem with this movie specifically, and just like this genre, like back in the day, you got like Airplane and even the original Scary Movies and even like Epic Movie and shit. I think Epic Movie kind of fell into this trap slightly more. I mean, even Scary Movie and stuff. But like, it's like, okay, you take the movies that are really popular at this time. But the thing was, back in like 2002, if a movie was popular, it was popular for 3-4 years. It was part of the cultural zeitgeist. Even if it fell off totally and went nowhere and everyone forgot it. Surely at this point it's back in the cultural zeitgeist because they're rebooting it, which I guess was part of what they were making fun of here. But you can watch like Scary Movie 2, and like the Scream movies went on to be iconic, and it's a big enough franchise. It holds a pretty large fan base to this day. That was the core of it, and everything else was universal. Dick, poopy, racist, gay, fart. You know, and they had a lot of that here. they brought those back. This movie decided, on top of their stable of jokes that would probably be considered unsavory by the more liberal crowd, to make a ton of anti-Trump jokes, which I was like, damn, they're playing both fields here. It was kind of strange because there's a prominent mentally challenged. You had the return of special agent Dopey or whatever the fuck, the mentally challenged
a flamboyant gay character.
You have a flamboyantly gay character
who talks about how he rapes little boys, and
everybody talks about how annoying it is that one character is trans. They like, we don't believe in that or some shit, and everybody's like, you're annoying for it.
Well, whichever way in.
But there was some moderately funny.
The main the main Wayans guy, the one who plays the laughing man, the giggling man, has a trans daughter, I think, or something. So I think he's just shit posting. But
no, I mean, obviously
it wasn't shit posting. But
well, I will say it didn't feel like it was. None of the like gay jokes and stuff particularly felt hateful. I don't think the mentally challenged jokes did either, but these days you just can't get away with touching those topics to the same degree you could 20 years ago. So I guess there was some integrity to my 2000s brand to, you know, distasteful mentally...
Making fun of the
mentally challenged, you know, making fun of gay people. And I have nothing wrong with any of those people. But you know what? If they're going to do it a little bit, whatever. I'm not that offended about it. Other people might be. I know some people got a little mad about that, so if that's something that you're really sensitive to,
a lot of the
reviews
fine.
are
just like, I don't like this movie because it offended me, but what they should be writing is, I don't like this movie because it's not funny.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is it's not funny for the most part, but which I feel like would be the easy cop out if you wanted to talk around. There was one or two guys in the theaters that thought this movie was a fucking hoot. They were laughing at everything. It didn't matter what the joke was, they were laughing, which you would think would set the tone for the other 25 people in the theater. It wasn't the case. I feel like you would hear, depending on how legitimately funny the joke was, there was a scale from like guys, lowest common denominator man in the front corner who was laughing at anything. I think there was some shit that there would be like 1 second of expositional dialogue that just wasn't a joke somehow, and he would be laughing like he didn't know when to stop. Like he was just
the John Wick parody was painful too. Might as well throw that out here.
There was a lot of painful crap in it. But no, I mean, I found it very interesting, almost jarring at kind of questioning who exactly the audience was. I think it was really trying to capture the. Did black people like Scary Movie back in the day? Okay, they must have.
They wanted to
made a lot of them.
What the CEOs call the urban market.
Well, there was a lot of black jokes in it, and I figured partially that was the Wayans brothers. I remember. Well, I watched most of these movies several times because one of my best friends growing up was a lesbian woman that was 5 years older than me. It was very fond of 50 Cent and stuff, so that might have been why I watched these. But I just thought like these were white people movies.
No.
I think by epic movie, I Meet the Spartans. There was more of that because like Happy Feet Up My Ass and shit. That was pretty,
there was a definite shift. Like Scary Movie 1 and 2 are black movies, and then
that's
I mean the Wayans ain't even in the later ones, and then you start
the other ones are like
Drake,
Lindsay Lohan and Charlie Sheen,
Bell starring in superhero movies and stuff.
Oh, superhero movies. That's a white one.
That's a white one.
So I guess it was a very, it was a different time. It was a unified time as long as you weren't gay or mentally challenged. But, no, I mean, it was, they did some jokes I thought were edgy for the day, or for today, but, I don't think they were particularly, like, mean-spirited. Like, you didn't get the vibe. It was like, they were saying how they really felt through jokes. It was like, they were dick and poopy jokes from 20 years ago retreaded because that's what actual fans of Scary Movie, presumably who exist, wanted to see. Is it a good approximation of Scary Movie? If I had to rank the Scary Movies, I'd rank it below 2, somewhere in the ballpark of 1, but I don't really remember 3 or 4. I remember the one or 5, presumably. I don't know if this is 5 or if there's a different one that's 5. There was the one with Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan and Snoop Dogg, I think. And
3 is the one that's like
bad.
a lengthy science.
There was the one, because the Charlie Sheen one, I think Charlie Sheen's thing was fucking, I think that was fucking Friday the 13th, 2009.
No.
Because Snoop Dogg,
3 was science,
kids were in the
and then
woods
I think
smoking
4
weed.
was Paranormal Activity.
No, that was Paranormal Activity you're thinking.
No, 4 also had a Paranormal Activity.
Well, this movie was like 2009 because they had a prominent opening. Lindsay Lohan and Charlie Sheen are smoking weed in the woods, and it's supposed to mirror the front. They had sex, and then they start smoking weed in the woods.
Maybe. I don't remember.
And it's like, it's 2009, so everyone hates Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan because it's the Tiger Blood and the DUIs or whatever. But I fucking specifically remember a series of 2009 Friday the 13th jokes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Regardless, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't know why I watch this. I don't care that much. It's not my type of humor, but I guess I think the biggest problem with this one is even compared to perhaps like the Charlie Sheen Scary Movie 4s. They wanted to add a bunch of really relevant humor. So you got like your 6-7 joke and like a bunch of stuff that was like, how did they put this in here? This was Michael's 3 weeks old, and obviously the movie had some marketing beforehand, but like it was very clearly like at most this fucking thing was, I mean, it was like pulling cinematography straight from the movie. Like they shot this shit a month ago. And I think, and obviously, like, Michael's a big movie, so that probably won't be that big of a deal in the long run. But stuff like the 6-7 and, like, some of the kind of TikTok internet culture jokes, even internet culture moves a lot faster than it used to. I feel like if I was to watch this movie 10 years from now and I saw that 6-7 joke, I'd probably have no fucking recollection of what the fuck a 6-7 is.
The Nosferatu joke, the long legs joke,
You know what I saw at a tiny gas station the other day that I forgot about? Fidget spinners. I was thinking about that and I was like, I forgot about that. Now granted, we lived in a time capsule land, Superior, Wisconsin, back then. You can watch some of those on our early videos.
All comedy now has the South Park problem where you pretty much have to make it in 3 days, otherwise it becomes irrelevant, and then a week later it becomes irrelevant.
Right, well, South Park's going to have the same problem where I would say the first, 5-6 seasons of South Park are pretty... You could probably watch those today or in 20 years.
They're mostly timeless,
20 years ago, and they're... there's some stuff that has been dated, That there always will be, but even then, usually those aged things are we're like, okay, here's something that was a thing for 3-4 years in 1999 when they made this joke. I mean, even some of the jokes that potentially could have been more aged, like Chin Pokemon. But you look at it and you're like, okay, well, at least there was a long enough cultural imprint that people who were alive in 1999 probably remember blah, blah, blah. I feel like those are slightly more, and the early Simpsons is the same way. But you watch like a modern episode of Simpsons or a modern South Park, you know, and obviously they might make like a fucking Sarah Palin joke in a King of the Hill episode from 2002 or something. But my point is, it's a comedy ages a lot quicker now, and the hard thing is if a joke's a month old now it's cringe. So I would even border on saying that 6'7" joke was dated and cringe. And when did that kid make that fucking video?
Like a month and a half ago.
Okay, it was probably more than that. 3 months ago, maybe though. Probably this year.
It was definitely this year.
But that's kind of what I'm saying. Is like it's like things just move so fast that like if I was to watch Scary Movie 1 today, I know what Scream is, so I'll get all of the jokes. And perhaps part of it's that I lived that era. Maybe if I showed that to a kid today, they'd be like, what the fuck is all this? I don't know. I don't know. But I can tell you one thing I do know is that this movie's going to be dated as fuck in like 3 months.
Yeah.
Which is the hard thing about comedy today. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, tell me earnestly if the biggest South Park fan in the world would watch those COVID specials today.
No.
No one wants to think about COVID. That was such a stupid fucking ass time frame. And it was cringe. It was all cringe.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't... I think my point is... That's the hard thing. I think this is one of the better scary movies. I think there were actually legitimately a few funny jokes in there out of the scattershot bunch. If you're like one of those Family Guy guys or Scary Movie guys, you'll fucking dig this movie. It wasn't really I knew I wasn't the audience, so I pretty much got... It was probably slightly better than I expected, but I had very low expectations. So that's my opinion. Ada, what did you think of Scary Movie?
Yep, pretty much the same. It's a little rough. It definitely has a few moments that got me to chuckle. You know, I like Anna Faris zipping the other lady into the body bag.
Yeah, that is the best joke.
That's probably the best one in the movie. Occasionally, there's little bits and pieces that are fairly funny.
Well, that whole scene was funny because she's zipping her in the body bag, and then the follow-up ketchup joke, like that is a good couple jokes in a row.
Yeah,
which is rare. I don't know if there's another sequence that had 2 laughs out of me in tandem. I don't think that happened more than once.
Yeah, there's a lot of painful already dated references. There's a lot of them. The fact that the finale is like a big John Wick spoof is rough, man. It's tough out here.
I forgot about the K-pop Demon Hunters thing.
Oh, that was fucking bizarre.
Demon Hunters orgy porn, where it looks like you got those. It looks like he hired the dudes that make the fucking Five Nights at Freddy's porn or some shit.
Yeah, the K-pop. I completely
like the fucking
forgot
anime
the original K-pop Demon Hunters parody song that comes in the middle about smoking weed and fucking bitches. That's a fucking bizarre one.
Part of the hard thing is like, it wasn't in Korean. It sounded like a rap song. Like the song wasn't very particularly K-pop.
No.
The vibe, and then he gets in like an orgy, and it looks like I don't know, bro. I think he probably found like some K-pop Demon Hunter, because presumably they're out there. The people who make the K-pop Demon Hunter porn, and I feel like he probably DM'd one of those guys and said, "Do you want to be in a major Paramount production?"
There's like a brief cutaway into like doing the streaming culture stuff, and it's really just hitting all the topics that were vaguely relevant like 2 to 3 years ago. This movie's going to be nonsense in a couple years, as in the same way that like Epic Movie is absolute nonsense. I need to watch Epic Movie. Imagine trying to decipher what Epic Movie is.
I don't think I watched Epic Movie recently. I watched Meet the Spartans like 3 years ago. Fucking horrible movie, by the way.
It sure fucking is.
But I will say, to the benefit of Meet the Spartans,
it
was like Happy Feet, which is a date. I guess honestly, if I was to like grab a 12-year-old right now and throw them Meet the Spartans. They have no idea. That would be like if they made like a movie where it was like Braveheart and Waterworld when we were kids or something, you know? Yeah. Or if someone showed us something like that and that type of stuff. I was like, that's not too dated. Then I was like, okay, Zack Snyder's 300, no cultural impact today. Happy Feet, major for some reason, and March of the Penguins. Just the whole penguin trend of the mid-2000s was in there. All that's irrelevant.
We were really rolling.
American Idol is a major point in that. That's dated.
The American Idol still technically runs, but nobody watches it.
I guess thinking back, Meet the Spartans, like, I know all those jokes because I was alive at that time, but I question if, like, my cousins that are like 10 years, 12, 15 years younger than me, like, would any of them have any clue what the fuck they were watching if I showed them Meet the Spartans? I think the answer is probably no, so perhaps you're onto something there.
It'd be fucking indecipherable.
Is anything like maybe Sinners will have a shelf life? I'm not convinced. In 10 years anyone will be talking about Sinners. I think it's overrated. But maybe. But like, Megan 2 was like nobody cared and it was fucking shit and they didn't recapture the magic and it's a viral TikTok movie, it's gone. How many of the movies here, like the original Scream Scary Movie where it's like Scream and final...
In 5 years nobody's gonna remember the Scream reboots either because they're fucking a mixed bag at best.
I liked that all the old slasher franchises got muddled up in rights disputes and they were too scared to do another Freddy without Robert Englund after the reboot because, like, I'd be curious. Like, I feel like those Halloween, like, reboot movies from 2018, they're like the Star Wars sequels where they're gone in my brain. I mean, obviously, like the first... I like them too, but I'm just saying, like if I'm thinking of Halloween, I think of, like, Halloween...
Yeah.
Halloween 3... the weird Jamie trilogy. I like the fucking Buster Rhymes one.
The Buster Rhymes one.
I think I'll remember in my head. Again, this might just be the age I am, but I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for the one where Buster Rhymes beats up Michael Myers.
I like the Paul Rudd one.
Unironically,
well, I don't like the Paul Rudd one. It's really bad and
Isn't that the one where Buster Rhymes beats up Michael? No, that's
The Paul Rudd one is the one where the kid that Lori babysat grows up and then, like...
Oh, that's 7. That's before H2O, right?
Yeah, it's like the weird impregnation fetish. It's Halloween 6.
That's... Yeah,
it's the weird impregnation fetish where they're trying to, like, rebirth
Jamie's a child in 4 and 5, and then there's a time jump, even though it's still the late 90s like it was before. And now oh no, there was actually, it was like they did like through 4 or 5. I think like 1 through 5 came in pretty quick, and then like 7 or 8 years later they made the Paul Rudd one.
Yeah, 6 came out in like the mid 90s, like 93 or 94, and it has like baby Paul Rudd in it playing the guy that Lori babysat, and he discovers like the weird impregnation cult that's trying to birth another Michael Myers or something.
The child from the previous 2 movies returns, and she was like raped by 1,000 psychos, like like Freddy Krueger's mom. And then they were trying to birth Michael Myers too. There's a lot of weird impreg fetish slasher movies at that time. That was all their age.
I'm surprised,
except
Friday
for Friday the
13th.
Well, Friday went, what if Jason was a fucking slug monster at that time? He was the only one that didn't go...
Yeah, he was a weird sperm from hell.
He was a sperm from hell, because there was Dream Child. Chucky has all sorts of that shit. They pretty much did that all through the 90s and 2000s for Chucky.
Well, Chucky got even
After
weird
Chucky 3, it was all downhill.
Son of Chucky's like a weird Glenn and Glenda riff, and there's some weird shit going on in that franchise.
Yeah, it's a very strange
But anyway,
franchise.
all of this has nothing to do
Luke
with Scary
Skywalker
Movie.
played Chucky in the reboot. For some
Would
reason.
you recommend Scary Movie?
I mean, look, it's
members
better.
of the urban demographic. I'm kidding.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I feel like there's quite a few but I think the thing is is this my thing? No, but I think I've seen a lot of these, especially as a kid, and I know how bad they get. So I was delightfully surprised that it wasn't worse.
It only kind of sucked.
It only kind of sucked. I chuckled occasionally. It's really just never been my thing, but especially, like, a couple of scary movies are okay, but it's never really been my thing. I don't know why we watch this. But if you're a fan of the scary movie genre, like that riff genre, yeah, I would say it's probably on the better side of those movies. But watch it quick, because in about a year this video is no longer going to be valid, because all the jokes in this movie will have expired by then. So Aiden, would you recommend Scary Movie 2026 parentheses?
No,
Put the brackets
probably not. I mean, it's not very good. I guess if you're really easy to make laugh, you'll probably get something out of it, but you also have to have seen like every horror movie from 3 years ago and be really, really easy to please as far as comedy goes, like big modern Simpsons fan. It's not horrendous, I guess. It might make for a good blowjob movie, I don't know. It's certainly boring enough to be a blowjob movie.
I feel like this movie is like half people who is made like half for people who are nostalgic for the franchise, and half I don't even know if it's a blowjob movie per se, but it's one of those challenge movies where kids are trying to sneak into it just to sneak into it.
Yeah.
When I worked at the movie theater, there was a lot of kids. There would be certain movies. Anytime we had like an R-rated comedy or something, that fuckers would just try to sneak in just to do it, and then most of the time they would just sit there either smoking weed, talking, or just on their phones. But for some reason it was like the ultimate challenge to get around me or something, and I was like, I really don't care, do whatever. Officially do whatever. But they drilled the policy into the kids that work for me, so they all took it really serious. So I was like, you're deputized, I don't care, don't bother me with this shit.